Hello everyone, this is Vikas and I welcome you all here in this video series of geography. And today we are going to learn the distributional maps of geography. But before I jump into the session, let's recall your basic concepts about the map that you have learnt right from your lower classes like 5th standard, 6th standard and 7th standard. And when we talk about the basic concepts of maps, the first thing that comes in our mind is that the definition. And if you will take a look at the definition of the map, you will clearly understand that a map is a small representation of the large surfaces such as continents, countries and oceans, and sometimes the small parts of these large surfaces too. That's why our definition says that a map is a representation or a drawing of the Earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. Yes, scale is very important here because the scale of the map should be in proportion of the scale of the Earth's surface. And after definition, another important thing about the map, it's a use, it's a purpose and it's a function. And you must have learnt in your lower class the aim of the map. Like its main aim is to show the directions and locations. But here you should also remember that it has another important role here to show the distribution of variables. That's why the main aim of a map is not only to show the directions and locations but also to show the distribution of different variables. Okay, let's go for another slide. You know there are different types of maps you have learnt in your lower classes, and we have also discussed in our Zoom session meeting. There are different types of maps like political maps, administrative maps, physical maps, and this one is a thematic map. And as far as thematic map is concerned, it particularly deals with the specific theme, such as road maps, rainfall maps, temperature. So such variables can be shown using these thematic maps. You have been provided with one example on the screen. This is the Indian road network and it is the example of thematic map. So our today's topic, the distributional map, is a subcategory of this thematic map. So let's go for the distributional maps. So you can see here distributional maps. I already told you that the distributional map, this is a subcategory of thematic map, and these types of maps are used to explain the distribution of different variables of particular region. Variables such as rainfall, temperature, population density, literacy rate. And such maps are prepared using three methods, namely dot method, Rochapleth method and Isopleth method. And we are going to learn all these methods one by one in this session. So let's go for dot method. So let's see how to prepare the distributional map using this dot method. And while using this method, we should definitely think about some characteristics, like the types of variables. Which types of variables can be shown using this dot method? So we can show the human population of animals, cattle and crops. So such variables can be shown using this dot method. Why? Because these variables are continuous in nature, because they are freely scattered over the particular geographical region. So these variables can be shown using dot method. And the main component in this map is a dot, because dots of similar size are used to show these variables on the map. And another important thing, statistical data. You know that statistical data is very important for any kind of a distributional map, And here particularly in this dot method, this statistical data should be gathered through counting, because the variable is freely scattered over the particular region. That's why that variable should be counted with a number. So the statistical data should be gathered through counting here, and such data can be used to show the distribution of these variables. So let's go for another slide. And for preparing the distributional maps using dot method, you are certainly required some things. There are some requirements, like you should have an administrative map of that particular region. Why? You should have this map to draw the dots upon it, showing the distribution of different variables of that particular region. And this map should have, it's a divisional boundary, it's a block boundary, and it's a tahsil boundary. So that according to that respective area, you can show the distribution of different variables. And another important thing, you need the statistical data about that particular region, about that particular administrative division. And this statistical data should be gathered only through counting from that respective places. And this data can be related to the population distribution, population of human being, population of cattle, and so on. And the last thing that you need for preparing this type of map is a physical map. You may think here now we are preparing the distributional map using dot method, and what is the need of a physical map? So let me tell you that we show the distribution of different variables here, taking into consideration the physical features of that particular region. As you know that if we are going to show the population, you will find sparse population in hilly and mountainous region. And if you will go for river basins, you will find dense population. That's why to show the population and such variables which are discontinuous in nature, you should definitely take into consideration the physical features of that particular region. For that reason, we should also have the physical map of the region. Okay, so let's see how to prepare the dot method map in actual. So after learning some characteristics of this method and taking a look at some precautions, we are also supposed to. So after learning some characteristics of this method and looking at some requirements, we are also supposed to take some precautions here. The precautions, like the dots which are used here, should be similar in size, they should be uniform, and they should be drawn uniformly on the administrative map. And another important thing, we should definitely take into consideration the physiographical features of that particular region in which we are going to show the distribution of the variables. Because I already told you that physiographical features of that region affects the distribution of the variables. For example, the sparse population is found on the mountainous region and the dense population is found in river basins and plains. So for this reason, we need to take into consideration the physiographical features of that particular region. And here one thing you should remember, that generally we are using the similar size of dots for showing the distribution of variables. But in case of a human population, we use dots for rural population and different size of circles for urban population. It's only in case of human population. So let's have one practical example how to prepare the distributional map using dot method. Suppose Jasmine wants to prepare the map of Nandurbar district showing the distribution of a population. What Jasmine is supposed to do, very first she has to manage the administrative map of Nandurbar district, having its taluka boundaries. And after managing this map, she must visit the website of Human Census of India, from where she can gather the statistical data about the population of Nandurbar district. And after gathering that information, she must fix the scale for 1 dot. And suppose she has fixed the scale for 1 dot 10,000. So using that 10,000, she has to divide the value of each taluka by that 10,000. So after dividing the value of Akkalkuwa, she got 22 dots. And after dividing the value of Akrani, she got 19 dots. So thus, after getting the number of dots, she can easily draw those dots on the respective regions. For example, for Akkalkuwa, she got 22 dots, so she has shown here 22 dots. For Akrani, she got 19 dots, so she has shown here 19 dots. It is possible when you will fix the scale of the dot, and whatever will be the scale, that number you have to use to divide the value, the statistical data that you have gathered from that particular region. So here you don't think about this urban population, because it is just for the example. We have only shown here the rural population. So in this way you can prepare the distributional map using the dot method. Okay, so we have another method, it's a Rochapleth method. So let's see how to prepare the distributional map using Rochapleth method. This method has also some characteristics, like we have seen in dot method, different types of variables can be shown using dot method. Here also we use this method of distributional map to show the variables like density of population. Remember, the distribution of a population can be shown using dot method, but if we want to show the density of a population, we should use the Rochapleth method. And this density of population can be of human beings, animals, cattle, and different types of crops. And here, using this method, we can show the variables like literacy rate, growth rate, sex ratio. So such variables can be shown using this method. And to show these types of variables on the map, in this method we use the components like shades and tints of the same color. Remember, shades and tints of the same color. And we can also make a use of a black and white pattern to show the distribution of these variables. So the components which are used here, shades, tints of same color or black and white pattern. And the third important thing, only one value is given to one sub-administrative division. So try to understand this concept. After collecting the information of that particular region, we consider the smallest and largest value of that particular taluka or particular district, and after considering that value, we give particular class, and for that class only one value is given. That's why only one value is given to one sub-administrative unit. And like I told you that in all types of distributional maps, only the statistical data can be used. And in dot method, we have seen that the statistical data that is gathered through counting can be used in dot method. But in this Rochapleth method, the statistical data is gathered through different surveys, like measuring the distance and all that. Here also let's have another practical example, how to prepare the distributional map using the Rochapleth method. Let's jump to the next slide. So you can see the table of literacy rate in India. This table is showing the literacy rate of all the states of India. This table may not be clear on your screen, but I have shared the same table in Zoom meeting also. So you can follow the details from there. Suppose Nancy wants to prepare the map of India showing the distribution of literacy rate of India. So what she is supposed to do, similarly she has to manage the map of India showing its state boundaries, and after managing the map she has to visit the literacy rate website of India, from where she can gather the information, statistical data about the literacy rate of all the states. And after gathering that information, as it is shown in the first column of the table, she has to arrange that information in ascending order or descending order in order to get the smallest and largest value. And after arranging the statistical information in ascending and descending order, Nancy got largest value of a given data and smallest value of given data. And what is the largest value? That is a 90.9, and that is the highest literacy rate of a Kerala. And smallest value is a 47, that is the lowest literacy rate of a Bihar. Now after getting this largest and smallest value, Nancy has to decide the class intervals, and these class intervals can be 5 or 7. And for deciding these class intervals, Nancy has to carry out some equations, like she has to subtract the smallest value from largest value. And what is largest value? 90.9, and smallest value 47. And after subtraction she will get a 44 answer, that is round figure. And that answer should be divided by 5 class intervals. And after division by 5 class intervals, Nancy will get answer 9. Now what to do with this 9? Nancy has to add this 9 in a smallest value. And what is the smallest value? That is a 47 of a Bihar. So when she will add 9 into 47, she will get answer 56. So her first class will be less than 56. Similarly, she can go for second class also. She has to add again 9 into 56. So she will get answer 65. So her second class will be 56 to 65. And she will carry out similar way for the another 3 classes also. And after getting all the 5 classes, she has to select the color, and she has to use the colors or different white and patterns for showing the distribution of this literacy rate. Now how she will use the shade or tint of the same color? The thinnest color or the lighter color will be given to the regions where there is a literacy rate less than 56. And the darkest shade of the same color will be given to those regions where there is a literacy rate more than 83 and 92. And thus she can prepare the map of India showing the distribution of literacy rate. You can see here the example. So this is the literacy rate map of India, and you will find in Kerala there is a highest literacy rate. So the darker shade of a color has been used here. If you will go for this Mizoram has also darker color because here also literacy rate is high. So thus we have completed Rochapleth method also, and rest of the lesson we will cover in the next video. So I hope you will enjoy watching this video. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned. Thank you so much.